Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, hey, look, it's November 1st and we only have 2 months left in this year. And the last month has absolutely kicked everybody in the nads. And I'll tell you what, most people who had success earlier are absolutely carrying the bag of what has absolutely been a stock market that has been relentless in the sell-off. And quite frankly, that's because you can go out and get a treasury note for like 5%. So what we're getting is this rotation out of stocks into treasuries. And look, the only place to create real wealth is in the stock market. Never forget that, okay? They can have 5% interest rates for the warm and fuzzy, safe income investor. But at the end of the day, if you really want to make gains in the stock market, you have to be in the stock market. So let's talk about how I am going to take a situation for which I'm down, where a stock I got involved with at $39.50 actually traded as low as $31 recently. But what we're going to do is talk about how I'm going to work my way out of that trade. We're talking leveraged ETFs. We're talking TQQQ, which is the leveraged ETF to the NASDAQ 100. We talk about it all the time because I use leveraged ETFs, because leveraged ETFs to the indexes trade the indexes. So when you hear the Dow and the S&P and the NASDAQ, those move one for one. But if you want a little leverage, get a little more action or skin in the game, I invest in these 3X leveraged ETFs. So when they move 1%, my investments move 3%. Now they move up or down 3%, and quite frankly, just go back to July when this sucker was trading in the 40s. You know, here we are a couple months later, it's trading near 31. So there's the good and then there's the bad. But what we have to do is this: we have to be able to manage our emotions, but also we're going to manage these trades, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about how I'm using the TQQQ to generate massive near-term covered call premiums while owning the stock, and while the stock market has essentially, more pointed, the NASDAQ has found itself in correction territory after being much higher earlier in the year. Let's talk about how I'm going to use this leveraged ETF, selling premium, writing covered calls, and generating near-term cash flow while we try to work out of this hole. And a little bit of a spoiler here, I did add new money to this trade. A lot of people just put their fingers in their ears. They don't want to hear that we added to this position. A lot of people say, I don't want to throw good money after bad money. Now, I would agree with you if I'm investing in a one-hit wonder stock, or a stock that, quite frankly, has no growth and Wall Street has left to the dirt. But we're talking the NASDAQ here. For me, I'm not throwing good money after bad. I'm just trying to pick a moment where I want to double down on this index, this, of course, heavily technology-based index, for when it makes its recovery in the NASDAQ. So let's go ahead and get this going. If you like anything you hear today, I want you to subscribe to the channel. We just reached over 10,000 subscribers, been on YouTube for years. But more importantly, if you like what you hear today, bang that like button if you want to hear how we're using a 3X leveraged ETF to get out of a hole and make some money while we do it. Now, this is the trade I sent to the members. And I do have a membership. All of my members see every single trade I've done, and they see how I work the trade in and out. I'll tell you what, if you're looking for trade ideas, or if you're looking to see how a professional stock trader, which that's what I am now, having over 150 trades this year, if you want to see how that works, right? You want to take a peek over my shoulder, see the world through my eyes, through exclusive videos that I send to the members, through exclusive email content where I write to them about possible trades, whether they be a cash secure put, covered call, poor man's covered call. At the end of the day, I provide content to my members that's actually usable, a call to action, because a lot of the trade videos and trade emails I send, I end up doing the trade. I mean, I'm going to do all that legwork to put together an email and a video just to not take on the trade. I absolutely love my members. I absolutely love the membership because it keeps me on top of my game. So I'm looking at the charts. I'm trying to find those value plays. We want to make good decisions. Man, you sign up, I give you a 1 free month offer. Go over to cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard, get your 1 free month. It's in the description below. It's the very first link. I give you a 1 free month offer. Now let's go ahead and look at what the members did get here. This is a TQ's trade for which on October 31st, we went ahead and I had to make a decision. I was not looking good on the position that I had in the TQs. Back on September 15th, I took a position in the TQs. I went ahead and sold a fat cash secure put for which at the time the TQs were trading for $39.72, right? The stock market is trying to find a bottom. None of this recent news has come out. I go ahead and sell the at the money 39 cash secure put. End up getting assigned those shares. I made $1,050 on that trade. Well, now I own the shares, so now I need to write some covered calls. And that's what I did. I went ahead and sold 2 covered calls while I owned the shares. Now, quite frankly, the TQs are falling. And you can see it immediately goes to 35x, 35x. And when I write this new one, it's trading at 32x, and it had hit 31 recently. So I'm thinking to myself, look, if I'm going to use the TQs to generate cash flow, near-term cash flow, writing covered calls, how do I want to do this? See, I can do this 2 ways. One, I'm not going to take a loss on the position. No way. The NASDAQ's going to come back. At the end of the day, the TQs will be at 39.50. So that's not a part of this. We're not selling. So what am I going to do? Am I going to go ahead and try to sell near-term covered calls out of the money? Meaning the stock's trading at 32, I try to write, say, a 36 or 37, pick up a little 50-cent crumb, and we nickel and dime that for 6 months. I didn't want to do that. I decided, look, I feel so comfortable that the NASDAQ 100 will find its feet and we will move a little bit higher. Think about it. All the NASDAQ really has to do is just move up a couple hundred points. The TQs are going to find themselves right back at 39. So what I decided to do is put fresh money into this trade, and that's what I did. I went ahead when the stock was trading at $32.73, I bought another 1,000 shares. We now have $72,000 invested, but my cost basis came down from $39.50 to $36.12. And you can see I already wrote that next covered call. And I went ahead and picked the November 17th strike price. I'm going to show you on the charts here why I did this. But November 17th is just a mere 17 days away. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a nice $1,100 premium. Now, we don't have to get to $39.50. The NASDAQ might have already bottomed. And with the Fed's news today that they're going to hold on interest rates, the markets didn't sell off. I think a lot of the talking heads on CNBC might be right. There's a lot of value because of the recent fall off. So finding stocks at the bottom of the range right now is very important. That's why I got involved with an additional double down on the TQs right now. So when it was trading at $32.70, I went ahead and sold that 36. You can see I'm in for $36.12, so I'm going to lose money on the sale of the stock. But what I want you to see is this. When we plug in the number 36, we end up finding I'm only going to lose $230. At the end of the day, this trade, when I started September 15th, we're going to end it November 17th. That is essentially 2 months. We are pocketing some $3,500 or 5% or 2.5% in 2 months in a falling, getting your nads kicked stock market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ real quick before we get to the TQs. So again, the NASDAQ 100 has absolutely bellied. Just last week, it fell to numbers that we haven't seen since June, late May, early June. This is all just near-term flux. We got oil at damn near $90 a barrel. We got numbers that are coming in where the 10-year hit 5%. All these things are causing Wall Street to just sell, sell, sell. And at the end of the day, the Federal Reserve truly is the master of puppets here, right? They are dictating this market. And with them coming out a little dovish where they're saying, look, man, we're not going to raise rates. They're kind of going to let the market handle the rates, which it is. I mean, all these treasuries are now 5%. The bond market is actually doing the work of the Fed right now. What's happening is Wall Street's starting to sit back and say, hey, there's a lot of value here. A lot of value here. So once this market gets stable, they can come back into stock. Now, earnings has hit, and all of the big tech companies are still dropping dimes on earnings. Amazon tripled everything. AMD blew everybody away. And I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, technology still leads this sucker. And we're going to use a little 3x leveraged ETF on the way. So here we go. When the stock was trading at 39x, we started this position with a cash secured put. We got about $1, so we pick up about $1,000 on the front side. I get stuck with the shares as the stock falls, which is okay. We write that next covered call. Stock moves. I actually believe that I bought that back and I wrote the next covered call. Stock pops a little bit, but it's not at 39.50. See, I want to get out at 39.50. It does not get to 39.50, so it drifts. And now it falls too much, and I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm kind of waiting for this action to happen again, and it's just not happening for me. So it falls to 32x, and now it's time to make a decision. So that's what I do. I double down. You saw what I did. And now by doubling down, all I have to do is get to the Keltner channel mid. And the reason I'm showing you this video now is because this was the determining factor for me to doubling down on the stock, knowing my cost basis would be 36x. Look at the last time it touched 36. This is going to be near-term resistance for this stock. And what it's going to do is it's going to bounce off of that 36. And it's going to try to break through, try to break through, try to break through. What I like about it is that it's going to try to break through 36, which is my cost basis. So what I'm hoping for is the stock gets up to 36. And hey, even if they don't take my shares, if it closes anywhere near 36, I'll go ahead, sell the position, lose a little bit of money on the stock sale, but I make all that covered call premium. I'd be buying the covered call back for pennies because it's not above 36. But the key here is this. That Keltner channel mid, the Keltner channel is a stocks trading range, right? So this is the NASDAQ 3X amplified. This is the NASDAQ's trading range. So the deal is simple. It's going to try to break resistance, and that is going to be 36. This is why I decided to double down. We are going to use that 36 as my new strike. We'll lose $230 on the stock trade, but we'll end up making $3,500 on this total trade. And if my shares aren't taken away, I can feel comfortable that when the stock market has absolutely bellied, man, this thing traded at 31. So even at 31 a share, I can write a 36, a 35, a 34, and get out of this trade making money. So I see this as me getting out of this trade November 17th or December 17th. I believe this market has bellied, and we're at least going to try to test resistance. And if all we do is test resistance, there's a great chance my shares will be taken away. Hey, look, leveraged ETFs are risky. You need to know what the leveraged ETF is. Most people on YouTube will tell you to stay away from it. It's a depreciating asset. You'll hear all these naysayers just talking junk about the 3X leveraged ETF. But what I'm here to tell you is this. When you think it's the index, right? When you think it's the index, then you can go to sleep at night knowing, even though these things move in big moves, 5% up, or 5% down, you're trading the index. So if you believe the stock market's going to go higher, then guess what? The TQs will too. That's just my opinion. Do your own due diligence, man. Never listen to somebody on YouTube because you'll go broke. Now you can take my information, you can take my idea to begin your due diligence, and if any of it sounds reasonable, hey look, that is a great place to start. Look, if you want to see how all these trades play out, in fact, you could see all the 3X leveraged ETF trades I've made this year. Join my membership. I got a 1 free month in the description below. I'm telling you right now, I would love to welcome you aboard. If you like this video, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.